Ogre Battle March of the Black Queen, originally released in 1993 for the Super Nintendo, and again in 1996 for the PlayStation and Sega Saturns. The footage used is from the PlayStation 1 version, originally developed by Quest and published by Enix. Ogre Battle is a strategy RPG, unlike virtually any other strategy RPG, because you have troops, and you can send them places, but you have virtually no direct control over their actions in combat. You can only give them broad guidelines such as attack the strongest, or attack balanced, but you don't know what spell a caster might use, if a healer's going to heal, or if a class with multiple attacks is going to use any given attack. All you can do is equip some gear and choose their group mates, with units of similar types generally being more effective together. But some units benefit from being with units of other types, and you just have to experiment and find that out. You do have one direct option in combat, and that's the use of tarot cards. They can have many different effects, but if you use one, the unit doesn't get experience. Instead, your personal unit will get the experience, and that can cause its own problems. This is a game that is all about branching paths. Every action you take will lock away some options, while opening up others. This goes for the story, for your troops' classes, even for what missions you might be able to do later. And of course, this affects your army's alignment. Even how long you take on a mission can affect your alignment, as you collect taxes over time from the various towns on the map. So if you spend an extra long amount of time on a given map just to milk the taxes, well, that lowers your alignment. Have units with clashing troop types? Lowers your alignment. Use tarot cards in combat so you get the experience while having a powerful leader. That lowers your alignment. What about forgiving enemies you fight so they come and join you? Well, sometimes that actually improves your alignment. Other times it lowers it, depending on how evil they were, and you're not really sure until after you do it. And you might think, okay, I'll rush through every mission and never use a tarot card. But not using tarot cards ever will lead to a lot of dead units, and that's not good. And if you rush on every map, well, you're denying yourself several opportunities. You can find items hidden on the map to equip your troops with, and you can find hidden towns that will sometimes give you items, or give you really powerful units. You can do this from the very first map, in fact. So everything in this game is ultimately a balancing act, and has many different outcomes, which is unusual for a game of this vintage. Even things like status effects in combat can have unforeseen consequences. Getting petrified in combat, that's terrible, right? Well, if your party contains a couple of clay golems and they get petrified, well, they're upgraded to the next tier of stone golems for free. But no other classes get that kind of benefit from being petrified. And there's lots of little hidden things like that to find, which you just have to wait and have the, random numbers get thrown to have it happen. And the class system of your troops is another very complex system, with all kinds of little ins and outs of what a unit can ultimately become and what the requirements are thereof. And the choices that will affect later in the game start at the very beginning, where you're given a little personality test that starts you with your first group of tarot cards, and also affects your character's stats, and to a lesser extent, what troops you will start with after the first mission. Sadly, no version of this game is currently available digitally. And this isn't a delisted video, because as far as I can tell, it was never listed anywhere. When I was a kid, I would rent this from various video stores for the Super Nintendo, and I had an obsession with trying to find it back then. But it was a rare Super Nintendo game, so I never found a Super Nintendo copy. But as soon as I heard that there was a version coming to the PlayStation 1, I bought that the day it came out, and I was so happy. I would absolutely recommend this game if you have any interest in strategy RPGs, or especially strategy RPGs. I can't comment on how much this would actually go for, as looking at eBay, the prices for all versions of this game are all over the map, and who knows which ones of those are real, which ones are fake, duplicates, etc. So, I would say play this however you can get your hands on it. It'll absolutely be a wonderful time. And there's always that vague hope it might come to like the Switch Online service. I mean, it could happen. I doubt it, but it could. Please do like, comment, subscribe, and tell your friends.